You know, it's a funny thing how we start to explain away every little ache and twinge once we hit a certain age. That lingering tiredness. Oh, I just didn't sleep well. That puffiness around the ankles must be the heat. Or I stood too long. We shrug off these subtle whispers from our bodies, often blaming them on simply getting older. But what if some of those seemingly innocent signs are actually your heart trying to send you a crucial message, one you absolutely can't afford to ignore? It's a painful reality that many of us, especially after 60, are missing the quiet distress calls our hearts are making. We're so accustomed to hearing about the classic heart attack symptoms, the crushing chest pain, the arm discomfort, that we often overlook the less dramatic, yet equally important signals. These aren't the blockbuster movie symptoms. They're the quiet, persistent ones that can feel like anything but a heart issue, leading us to brush them aside until it's too late. The truth is, your heart might be in trouble, and it could be telling you in ways you'd never expect. In this video, we're going to uncover 6 strange, often overlooked symptoms that can reveal your heart is struggling, especially once you're past 60. These are the clues that can easily be mistaken for something else entirely, but recognizing them could quite literally save your life or prevent serious complications. Learning to listen to these hidden signals is one of the most powerful things you can do for your well-being. So, please, stick with me through this entire discussion, because I promise you, there's something truly surprising and vital waiting for you right at the end of this conversation. Now, let's dive right into these vital signs, starting with something many of us probably experience on occasion and might think nothing of an unexplained: persistent fatigue. We're not talking about being a bit tired after a long day of gardening or chasing after the grandkids. This is a profound, deep-seated exhaustion that doesn't seem to lift, no matter how much rest you get. It's the kind of tiredness that makes simple tasks feel like climbing a mountain. Walking from the sofa to the kitchen feels like a marathon. And the idea of doing anything beyond the absolute essentials seems utterly overwhelming. You might find yourself wanting to nap constantly, or feeling completely drained even after a full night's sleep. The strange thing is, most people over 60 just chalk this up to getting older. They'll say, "Well, I'm not as young as I used to be," and simply try to push through it or adjust their lives around this new, lower energy level. But here's the crucial part: if your heart isn't pumping blood as efficiently as it should, your muscles and organs aren't receiving enough oxygen and nutrients. Imagine your heart is a powerful pump, working tirelessly to send vital supplies throughout your body. If that pump starts to weaken, it has to work much harder to get the same job done, leading to that bone-weary exhaustion. For instance, think of someone like Martha, a vibrant woman in her early 70s who used to walk miles every day and loved to travel. Suddenly, she found herself completely drained just by doing a load of laundry. She'd sit down for a moment, and that moment would turn into an hour, then another hour. Her friend suggested she was just doing too much, or perhaps she needed more vitamins. But it wasn't until she mentioned it to her doctor, almost as an afterthought, that they discovered her heart was struggling to keep up, leading to that profound, unshakable fatigue. This kind of fatigue isn't just a sign of aging. It's a critical alert from your body, urging you to pay attention. If you're experiencing a new or worsening tiredness that interferes with your daily life and doesn't get better with rest, please don't dismiss it. It's your body asking for a closer look at what's going on internally, especially with your heart. Moving on to our second surprising symptom, one that many might notice but again, easily explain away: swelling in your ankles, feet, or even your legs. You might wake up in the morning and everything feels normal, but by the evening, your shoes feel tight, your socks leave deep indentations, or your ankles look puffy. This common symptom, known as edema, is often attributed to standing too long, hot weather, or just general water retention. And yes, sometimes it can be, but when it's persistent or noticeable daily, It can be a significant indicator that your heart isn't doing its job as effectively as it should. Here's why this happens when your heart isn't strong enough to pump blood efficiently, particularly the blood returning from your lower extremities back up to your heart. Gravity takes over. The fluid starts to pool in the furthest points from the heart, your feet, ankles, and legs. It's like a traffic jam in your circulatory system, and the fluid has nowhere to go but out into the surrounding tissues. This can be a telltale sign of a condition called congestive heart failure, where the heart can't pump enough blood to meet the body's needs. Consider Robert, a gentleman who loved his evening walks. He started noticing his once comfortable sneakers felt incredibly tight by the end of the day. And his wife pointed out how swollen his ankles looked. He just thought it was from walking more. Or maybe he'd gained a little weight. But when the swelling didn't go down, even after a restful night, and started appearing regularly, it was a wake-up call. His doctor diagnosed early-stage heart failure, and getting on the right treatment plan made a world of difference. While elevating your legs can offer temporary relief, if you're consistently seeing this kind of swelling, especially if it's getting worse, it's not just a minor inconvenience. It's a symptom that warrants immediate attention. These are the kinds of subtle clues that are easy to overlook. But understanding their connection to your heart is paramount to your long-term health. We have several more crucial signs to discuss, so let's keep going. Now that we've discussed that profound, unyielding fatigue and the telltale swelling in your lower limbs, let's talk about another vital sign that often gets misdiagnosed or brushed aside: shortness of breath. We're not talking about huffing and puffing after sprinting for the bus, but rather feeling breathless with activities that were once easy: walking across a room, climbing a short flight of stairs, or even just talking. What's even stranger is when this breathlessness occurs while you're lying down flat, forcing you to prop yourself up with pillows to feel comfortable. This symptom can be incredibly confusing because it's so commonly associated with lung conditions like asthma or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, often known as COPD, or simply dismissed as being out of shape. However, if your heart isn't pumping blood efficiently, fluid can back up into your lungs, causing what's known as pulmonary edema. Imagine your lungs becoming waterlogged. It makes it incredibly difficult for them to do their job of exchanging oxygen and carbon dioxide. This fluid buildup can make you feel like you're suffocating or gasping for air, even when you're resting. For example, Anne, a retired teacher, found that her morning walk to the corner shop, which used to be a breeze, now left her winded and needing to stop to catch her breath. Then, she noticed she couldn't sleep flat in her bed anymore. She felt like she was drowning and had to prop herself up with 3 pillows. Her initial thought was that she was developing asthma, something she'd never had before. It took a visit to her doctor, who immediately recognized these as potential heart-related symptoms, for her to get the proper diagnosis and treatment. If you find yourself struggling to breathe during normal activities, or if you need to use extra pillows to sleep comfortably at night, your heart might be sending a clear message that it's under strain. Next up, let's consider a symptom that can be quite unsettling and is frequently attributed to a myriad of other minor issues: dizziness or lightheadedness. Especially when you stand up quickly, you might experience a momentary feeling of faintness, a sudden wooziness, or a sensation that the room is spinning slightly. It's easy to write this off as dehydration, low blood sugar, or just a common side effect of getting older and perhaps having slower reflexes. After all, who hasn't stood up too fast and felt a bit dizzy now and then? But when these episodes become more frequent, or more pronounced, they can be a critical sign that your heart isn't pumping enough blood to your brain. This can happen for several reasons. Perhaps your heart is beating too slowly or too quickly due to an irregular rhythm, known as an arrhythmia. Or maybe there's an issue with a heart valve that's impeding proper blood flow. When you change position, say from sitting to standing, your body needs a quick surge of blood to the brain to maintain equilibrium. If your heart isn't capable of delivering that surge efficiently, you'll feel lightheaded. Consider John, who loved to sit and read his newspaper every morning. He started noticing that almost every time he stood up from his armchair, he'd have to grab onto something for a moment because he felt a sudden rush of dizziness, as if he might black out. He attributed it to low blood sugar until he fainted one afternoon. It turned out his heart was occasionally skipping beats, causing insufficient blood flow to his brain when he changed positions. Paying attention to the frequency and circumstances of these dizzy spells is crucial. If they're happening regularly or are causing you concern, it's definitely time to have a chat with your doctor. Finally, for this part of our discussion, we have a symptom that often flies under the radar because it mimics so many other common ailments: a persistent cough or wheezing. This isn't just a little cough from clearing your throat. It can be a chronic, hacking cough that just won't go away, sometimes even accompanied by a wheezing sound, similar to what someone with asthma might experience. The really strange and concerning part is that it can occasionally produce pink-tinged or foamy mucus. It's so easy to mistake this for bronchitis, allergies, a lingering cold, or even smoker's cough, even if you've never smoked a day in your life. However, just like with shortness of breath, a heart that isn't functioning optimally can lead to fluid backing up into the lungs. This fluid can irritate your airways, triggering a persistent cough as your body tries to clear the congestion. If the fluid buildup becomes significant, it can lead to that characteristic wheezing sound. The presence of pink-tinged mucus is particularly alarming because it suggests blood is leaking into the fluid in your lungs, a serious indicator of advanced heart issues. Imagine Sarah, who had a nagging cough for months. She tried every over-the-counter cough syrup and allergy medicine, convinced it was just seasonal allergies or a lingering bug. She'd wake up coughing, and it seemed worse when she lay down at night. It wasn't until she mentioned her persistent cough, along with her increasing fatigue, to her doctor that they investigated her heart health. It turned out to be a key sign of heart failure. So, if you have a chronic cough, especially one that worsens when you lie down, or is accompanied by breathlessness or that telltale pinkish mucus, it's absolutely critical to consider your heart as a potential culprit and seek medical advice without delay. We've covered 5 important symptoms so far, and there's one more crucial, often surprising sign that we need to address before we wrap up our conversation. We've explored several surprising ways your heart might be trying to tell you it needs help. From persistent fatigue to that baffling, unrelenting cough. Now, let's turn our attention to the 6th and final symptom on our list. One that often catches people completely off guard because it seems so far removed from the heart: indigestion, nausea, or general stomach pain. When we think of heart trouble, our minds usually go straight to the chest, maybe the arm, but the stomach. It might sound strange, but it's a surprisingly common way heart issues can manifest, particularly in women and older adults. Imagine feeling a nagging discomfort in your abdomen, a sensation of nausea, perhaps like you're on a queasy boat ride, or even outright stomach pain that mimics indigestion or heartburn. You might dismiss it as something you ate, a bout of acid reflux, or perhaps just a sensitive stomach. And truthfully, it often can be. But when these stomach symptoms are persistent, or if they appear alongside other subtle signs we've discussed, it's a signal you absolutely must pay attention to. The reason for this unexpected connection lies in the way our bodies are wired. When your heart is under stress or not getting enough blood flow, it can trigger nerve signals that are interpreted by the brain as discomfort in areas other than the chest, including the stomach. Sometimes, this stomach upset is also a result of reduced blood flow to the digestive system as the heart prioritizes vital organs. Think about Mary, a vibrant woman in her late 60s who started experiencing what she thought was chronic heartburn. She'd feel nauseous after meals, and occasionally, a dull ache in her upper abdomen would keep her awake at night. She took antacids religiously and adjusted her diet, convinced it was just her digestive system acting up. Her friends suggested various home remedies for acid reflux. It wasn't until she also started feeling unusually tired and slightly breathless climbing the stairs that her doctor put the pieces together. What she had attributed entirely to indigestion was, in fact, a crucial indicator of underlying heart disease. For some, especially during a heart attack, these abdominal symptoms can be the primary sign, completely masking the typical chest pain. It's a vital reminder that our bodies don't always follow the textbook symptoms, especially as we age. If you're experiencing new or worsening stomach issues that don't respond to typical remedies, or if they come hand in hand with any of the other surprising symptoms we've talked about today, it's definitely worth a conversation with your healthcare provider to rule out any cardiac connection. Don't assume it's just your digestion. Your heart might be sending you a very different message. So, we've covered 6 crucial, often surprising symptoms that could be whispers from your heart, telling you it needs a little extra attention. That profound, unexplained fatigue that doesn't lift, the swelling in your ankles and feet, the puzzling shortness of breath with mild exertion or when lying flat, those dizzy spells, the persistent cough or wheezing that won't quit, and even those nagging stomach issues like indigestion or nausea. Each of these alone might seem minor, easily explained away by the natural process of aging or other benign conditions. But when you look at them through the lens of heart health, they become powerful indicators, flags waving that your body is asking for a closer look. Remember, my dear friends, listening to your body is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself, especially as you navigate the wonderful journey of life after 60. You are the expert on your own body. And if something feels off, if a symptom persists or seems unusual for you, trust that instinct. It's not about panicking, but about empowering yourself with knowledge and taking proactive steps. Small changes and early detection can make an incredible, profound difference in your health, your happiness, and your peace of mind. Your heart is a magnificent, tireless organ, and giving it the attention it deserves can ensure you continue to live your fullest, most vibrant life for many more years to come. We've talked a lot today, and I truly hope this information helps you feel more empowered about your health. I'd love to hear from you. Have you experienced any of these symptoms? Or did you ever mistake a heart symptom for something else? Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your story could very well help someone else who might be going through something similar. And if you found this video helpful and valuable, please do me a quick favor, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. It genuinely helps us reach more incredible people like you who are looking for practical, easy to understand health advice. We're here to support you on your journey to living your best life every single day, at every age. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Stay healthy, stay vibrant, and remember, live your best life at every age.